Hi guys, John here. We're working on this big guy today. This is hatching. So what I've been using is these Pigma Microns. If you can see that, I'm not sure if that'll show very well. These are like really thin Sharpies, more or less. It's a felt tip marker, but they're tiny little tips. I've been doing this since like 2021, 2022. So it's a lot of work going on so far. I just take breaks for long periods of time and I don't want to touch it. That's why it's up on this wall so that I can stare at it. But we've got this whale shark up here. And when I put this whale shark up here, I just kind of scoured the internet for examples of whale sharks. Well, since then, I've seen whale sharks in person. So I'm going to be using my own reference. So we have to erase this guy and we're going to add in a new reference for a new whale shark. So I've got this kneaded eraser here. These things are awesome. So standard gum eraser you guys can think of as the pink ones. They work just as fine, just as well, but I really like these guys because they're much more reusable. So when I fill it up with lead, it gets dark and I can just go like this and continue using it. Stretch it and play with it, and it lasts ages. So I get it a little warmed up here. And these are also really good at picking up some color or some lead from my pencil and not all of it. But we're going to try to erase this whole thing first. Okay, so not perfect. It has been sitting up there for a while, but it's not the end of the world. I'm going to cover over most of it, so I'm not too concerned. I'm going to draw in my example here. So this is from a video. I don't think you're going to be able to see, but I've got my iPad down here that's got the reference I'm using on it. This is a video I took at the Atlanta Aquarium in Atlanta, Georgia. They've got one of the biggest aquarium tanks in the world, I'm pretty sure, per volume. And they've got 2 whale sharks in there. So this is a video of one of the whale sharks swimming by that I took. And so I just took a screenshot of it. I actually flipped it because it was swimming the other way, but I think it'll fit perfectly up here. And so we're going to start. Whenever I'm trying to draw something and get a likeness, I start with big forms and slowly narrow it down. That's how anybody should. So I'm just thinking about it. I'll put my reference image like maybe here so you can see what I'm working with. And I'm going to get working away on this.
Watching this over now, I was doing a lot better than I thought I was. The angle that I was at was kind of hard to see the full picture, and I definitely erased this like 5 more times where I could have stopped like 20 minutes ago. All right, back to the music.
Okay, went through a couple iterations there of that. I didn't quite get exactly like it is in the original. I just wasn't liking the way that it was looking from where I'm purchased. You know, like being underneath the drawing, it's a little more difficult to get the lines the direction you want them to than it would be if I was directly level with it. So if I was, you know, a little bit taller, then I might have been okay. But it's not the end of the world. I'm pretty happy with its positioning now, and I like that it goes behind the orca here. I may fudge it a little bit in this area because this here, where this round or this edge comes really tight in contact with that edge, that's called a tangent. Tangents are not good. You always want, if things are going to overlap, you want them to overlap. You don't want them to like barely meet one another. See if I can find any more tangents on here that I messed up. Not right away. And you can't really see down here, but like you see how this orca's fin comes all the way behind the shark? That's good. This guy comes all the way in front of him. That's good. Something like if, for example, I fudged this fin a little bit. Because in the original, the fin came through here. And that didn't look good because that was a tangent. So I pulled it in front of the shark a little bit. And so around here, I might thicken this guy up a little, just so he's a little taller. This Nautilus here, I might make him a little taller. But we're gonna go in now with the pens. So I'm gonna take this. You see, it's now full of ink, and so I can just take it, stretch it, and fold it. Stretch it, fold it. Do that a handful of times. Good as new. Not so I can use this for a while. And now here's the other thing that I like about these is I can take off these lines without taking them all the way out. So normally you rub with an eraser. With this guy, I can blot it down and it only takes up some of the line, which is really useful on, especially when I'm doing watercolors or things like that, where I want to see the background, or see the line drawing, but I don't want it to show through. And so here I'm just rolling it like that, rolling it back and forth instead of rubbing it. That's going to erase too much. I can in some spots where it's really dark, like around here. I want to get a little bit more of that out of there. So I'm just going to erase all this great work that I just did. And then I'll come back in with a pen. Okay. And so I've got a big bag here full of pens. Some of them work, some of them don't, so we're going to have to figure out which ones are good. I'm just looking for a thicker one first. So the kit that I got comes in different sizes. So there's, you know, like a point. Here, let's see if I can find. This is a size 12, okay? Versus the one that I showed you initially. This is a size 0.05, okay? So here's 0.05, right? And 12. You can really see how much bigger this is. So they come in a wide range of tip sizes. And so I'll start the outline with a bigger one, just so I can get some of the main details in here. Ooh, look at that. I'm not being too careful with my lines exactly. You see all of these are very scratchy. That's how I'm going to put it in. I want it to look like hatching, so I'm going to be pretty scratchy with my outlines. Just confident. That's what I'm trying to be. I'm trying to be confident here. Now, in here, I'm not sure exactly what we're going to do, so I'm not going to outline that all the way. Let's touch this guy up a little too. And like I said, I'm going to make him a little taller here, just for the sake of my for the sake of my drawing, I'm gonna make him a little taller. Okay, and so let's fix this guy really quickly and then I'll come back. So I'm just doing the squint tests like usual. I'm leaning back, squinting my eyes, get kind of, especially when I'm cross hatching like this, it, instead of seeing the strokes, it lets me see the tone. So it's helping me to see that I could probably darken it up here a little. Okay, we'll continue on with our whale shark here. Okay, rough outline. So this guy has white spots, which when I'm working with black is a little bit annoying, but that's, I mean, I chose to put it there, you know? So I gotta put it there. Just like I did with this guy. I'm gonna have to color around the spots, but this guy I did with a bigger marker. So we'll see how it goes. Because he's not all the way black like this guy is. He's kind of gray here, so I'll probably have to just do my best. But I know some spots I can darken up right away. I'll darken the eye. And so there's two schools of thought when doing cross hatching like this. One school is to go the same angle for everything. You got a very precise angle and you're etching every line at that angle. And the way that you get it to get the form is to really pay attention to what's getting darkened. There's another method where all the lines follow the contour of the shape that you're doing. For example, if I was doing this guy and, you know, he's round, I'm putting round lines in here. And I think both of those have their merits. So I kind of do a bit of a combo of the two. I'm getting my base tones in with fairly random directions, and then when it comes time to detail, as you can see here, I'm more following the contour. So we'll continue on working on this guy. We'll get the main base tones down and then we'll get into some details. So I want to make these circles bigger than they actually are, because when I go and scribble around them, you're going to lose some of that. So if I make them actual size, they'll be really hard to see. And I'm once again not really paying much attention to the direction that I'm scribbling in, because I'm going for the tone and not the shape. So when I'm doing my squint test, like you should be doing all the time, I'm doing my squint test and I'm liking the tone, so I'm going to keep working with it. So I'm liking the way this is looking so far. I'm getting close to our orca. I don't know if it's gonna look good if I just scribble right up next to the orca. I'm not sure how it's gonna look. So we're just unfortunately gonna have to go for it and hope for the best. I could lighten him up a little bit, just kind of gradually so that it stands out better, which is I think what I'm probably gonna do. But I know that this guy is so black that I may not even have to worry about it. So I'm just gonna start just kind of going in and we'll see how it goes. I think it's gonna work. When you're doing this, it's good to have a lot of pens like I've got because sometimes they just need a break. This guy's starting to get a little soft, so I'm gonna give him a break and jump down to slightly different size, just because I know that it'll be fresher and it'll be a little darker. So same deal here, where the top of my nautilus shell meets the bottom of my whale shark's stomach. I want to make sure that they're not too similar in tone. So I'm actually going to darken up just around the nautilus shell on the whale itself so that it pushes it back further. Right, so if we squint test it now, we can see that they blend a little bit too nicely together. So I'm going to darken up, like I said here, so that when I do the squint test, I can clearly see the difference. Yep, that's better. Okay, squint test is looking good. Another way I can tell, especially when I'm filming, is to look at how you guys see it. So I'm gonna step behind the camera. Okay, I'm liking it. Gonna add some lines through here. I don't know how well they'll show up, but this is something that I'm aware that these guys have. These lateral lines like this. He's probably a little darker than I would have liked, but not much I can do about that. I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm gonna say that maybe I'll call it there, say that I'm good, and I might jump in and do some smaller guys for some shorts. I'll throw up the pictures of them all when I'm finished. So you'll see all the stuff I did today at the end of the video, but you'll have to check out my shorts to see me drawing the other fish. Okay, here's our finished whale shark. I did go on and add a couple more fish. I'll show you who I've added. This guy here. Added this guy. And I added this guy. So I'm gonna back up, see if I can get the whole thing into one. Maybe. There we go. So that's what I'm rocking with. Those few additions I think looked pretty good. That being said, thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, hit the bell, comment, share with your friends. You know, all the YouTube stuff. It really helps the channel a lot, and it helps me to grow. And, you know, that's what I'd like more than anything, is to be able to grow this channel and share my art with you. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.